Find your pause. Let the silence settle around you, allowing this story to be just a gentle murmur in the background of your mind. There is no need for haste, for the place we are going is averse to speed. Our journey began at the edge, where the world of noise gives way to the fog that forms not from the cold, but from a deliberate choice of discretion. There stood the house. Dark stone, hardwood, it seemed to have emerged directly from oblivion, sheltered by tall pines and grass that grew in reverent silence. Remember the candelabrum, that single object out of place, swaying slowly to the touch of an invisible breeze, when the massive oak door opened, without a creak, without a warning. The air that drifted out was not cold, but warm and saturated, a scent of vanilla, sandalwood, and the gentle dust of thousands of pages. You are now at the threshold. The body of the house is polished darkness. Its soul is the amber glow that peers from the depths, inviting you inside. The first step inside is an adjustment to the light. Your eyes take a moment to grow accustomed to the rich gloom. The great hall is vast, but not empty. There is no large furniture, only long shadows and the dark floorboards, so well waxed that they reflect the meager light like a still lake. The silence here has a different texture. It is not the absence of sound, but the suspension of it. It is as if every noise ever made has been recorded on the walls and is waiting patiently, with no intention of being reproduced. In the center, a wooden staircase curves gently to the floor above, where the ember light we saw from outside must reside. As you ascend, there is no expected creaking. The steps seem to absorb the weight, allowing only a soft hush with each stride. And it is here that the first element of mystery creeps in. As you climb, your eyes observe the wall beside you. It is covered in detailed, dark, carved wooden panels. And at one point, halfway up, you see it. Not a stain, nor an imperfection, but an etching in the form of a simple spiral, almost imperceptible, but it is not the spiral itself that draws attention. It is the dust. All the wood is covered in the dust of time, except for this spiral. Someone, very recently, must have run a finger across it. You pause, your heart maintaining its calm rhythm, but your mind slightly more alert. Who? Where is the person who touched the spiral? And more importantly, why? There is no answer in the great hall, only the amber light upstairs, which now seems to pulse with the anticipation of a secret. Reaching the top of the stairs, the mystery gives way, for a moment, to pure wonder. The amber light is the reality of the library. It is neither electric nor candlelight, but a constant golden light that emanates from the air itself, making every dust mote visible, floating in slow, hypnotic dances. The library is circular, with shelves that rise to a vaulted ceiling. Books fill every inch, a mountain of knowledge and fiction. The first thing that catches the eye is the center, where a single, large oak table stretches out, covered with a musk-green velvet cloth. There are no chairs nearby, but on the table rests an object that suggests the presence of a reader. A white porcelain cup, still with steam slowly rising from a dark liquid, tea. Perhaps you move slowly around the circumference of the shelves, feeling the vibration of the silent knowledge. Time here is not measured by seconds, but by the lifespan of ink on paper. And then you notice the anomaly. In the northeast corner, there is a shelf that differs from all the others. It is made of a lighter, almost silver wood. On this shelf, every book, without exception, is open. Not stacked, but open in the middle, as if the reader had been called away in an instant and promised to return. You glide your finger across the spine of the open books. Strange titles, The Language of Shadows, The Cartography of Memory, The Silence of the Six Winters. The page facing you, in every book, is always the same. Not the same content, but the same type of content. It is always a paragraph describing a sensation. In one book, you read the sound of falling snow at the exact point where it ceases to be a noise and becomes a color. In another, the smell of regret, which is not sour, but warm and metallic, like an old nail. These are descriptions of experiences the mind rarely manages to name. This is the shelf of perception, and someone was reading all of them simultaneously, or perhaps just one, but with an intensity that made them forget to close it. The cup of tea is still warm. The etching on the stairs is clean, and someone was here, immersed in reading these unnameable sensations, and simply disappeared. The mystery deepens, and the suspense becomes a faint feeling of being watched, not out of malice, but out of a deep, ancient curiosity. You make your way to the last shelf, hidden in a shadowy niche behind the table. It contains only one book. It is a large volume, untitled, bound in leather that seems to change color as the light hits it, from gray to a deep, almost black blue. You pull it out. The weight is surprising, as if the pages were made of lead. The cover has no inscriptions, but it has a texture, as if it has been worn down by many curious thumbs over the centuries. You open it with the slowness the moment demands, and the air escapes. The book is completely blank. These are not pages yellowed by time. It is new paper of immaculate whiteness, so pure it almost glows. You turn the first page, the second, the 10th, nothing. You frown. This would be a disappointment if it were Unet, for the slight warmth radiating from the pages and the subtle fragrance of jasmine the book emanates. Then you notice there is a subtle indentation on the first page, as if moments before something had been written there, but had been gently erased by the whiteness itself. Not an abrupt erasing, but a dissolution. You sit on the floor, feeling the cool air of the boards on your face. You pick up the cup of tea, which is now almost cold, and place it beside the blank book. You close your eyes, forcing yourself to slow the pace, to breathe the sandalwood air. When you open them, the amber light of the library seems to have deepened one shade. You pick up the blank book again. You run your finger over the first page, and there it is. Very lightly, like a graphite shadow, a single word appears, formed by the paper fibers that were not completely undone. The word, waiting, ... A gentle chill runs down your neck. The book is not a volume of past stories. It is a volume of future stories. It is blank because your story is still being written, and the reader who drank the tea and cleaned the spiral was just waiting ... waiting for you. The suspense dissolves not into fear, but into a deep sense of understanding. The library does not guard dead secrets, but living ones, which only manifest in silence and calm. The mystery is this: are you here to read the books, or are you the story that remains to be written? You close the blank book, knowing that it has given you a gift, that of seeing your own life as a page with infinite potential. You stand up. The cup of tea is still on the table. The spiral on the staircase is still clean. As you descend, the golden light of the library gradually disappears behind you, replaced by the gloom of the great hall. The oak door that opened silently now closes behind you with the same respect, without a sound. You return to the gravel road, where the moss muffles your steps. The fog envelops you once more, but now it feels less like oblivion and more like an embrace.